Well, here we are back at CML Healthcare to talk about diagnostic imaging. There's so much to cover that we never finished it off last week. So we're gonna catch up where we left off, shall we say. And I was talking about ultrasounds. And ultrasounds bounce sound waves off of various organs. Now, these are the organs basically from stem to stern. Well, that's a ship, but it is kind of the sound waves that an orca would make. So it is somewhat shipping.
Stem.
Don't they?
No, bow.
Oh.
Anyways.
Okay, well, let's say bow to stern, shall we? But basically everything from the thyroid, all the organs inside our abdomen, the gallbladder, liver, spleen, aorta, all these areas, the sound waves can bounce off and give a picture. It might look a little grainy to me, but these specialized radiologists can tell us what's going on with these organs. And the good news is there's no radiation involved. Very, very safe procedure. You can tell whether a person is actually pregnant with an alien or whether they're just chubby.
Rob's twin. The other thing is that, just to point out, CAT scans and X-ray machines expose you to radiation. MRIs and ultrasound do not. So when you're deciding what you want for a diagnostic, remember that. If you're twitchy about radiation, you might want to consider that as well. Now for CAT scans, it's interesting because we can thank the Beatles for the CAT scan. I'm not just talking about those guys, but Paul, Ringo, John, and George, because they made a company called EMI very wealthy, and they had the money to go and decide to experiment, man. So they did. Really? So they took a bunch of X-rays. They decided, rather than X-rays, they would take them from different angles. And they took slices, and they called these tomos, which is the Greek word. I have a friend, Jimmy the Greek, he calls everything Greek important. So tomo means slice. So they took these tomos, and then they put them in a computer. And that became computerized tomography or CT scan. So we can thank the Beatles for that. And they first started by putting somebody in and doing a CT of their heads. They would go in singing "All You Need Is Love" and coming out singing "I Am the Walrus." Cuckoo-ca-choo. Anyways, the concerns about the CT scans is that there's a lot of radiation with them. There's a big concern about this now. One CT scan of your brain is like 100 X-rays, and one of your abdomen, which can be as much as equivalent to 500 X-rays and radiation. So there's some concern about this. So why is there concern? Well, a lot of people go in demanding a CT scan for every little thing, sniffle they have. Don't do that.
Another machine that you can get, which does not involve radiation, is the MRI machine. Now, this stands for my mysterious, really interesting machine, I think. But it's a big magnet. It just basically sucks your protons around you. It's right over here, and we can feel it pulling us, this magnetic field over here. But basically, it spins the protons around in your hydrogen atoms, and basically, there goes that magnet now. But it's kind of like how you feel when you wake up after drinking tequila the night before, that kind of a spin, but you don't feel that bad. But it's going to be read by, say, some fancy iPad. It comes up with this detailed image of organs that we can't see as well with a CT scan. That's an MRI.
Don't believe a thing we just told you.
No.